Okay, it's loading now. I'm just waiting on you. Perfect. Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have an incredible guest with us, one who I'm very humbled would take time out of his busy schedule to come give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than Student Minister Sharrieff Muhammad. First of all, on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience, we want to give you the greetings and thank you. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for the invite.
Yes, sir. This means so much to us to hear from you. So the first thing, we're not going to belabor the point. The first thing we want to get into is, what is the name of your book?
Down is not out.
Praise be to
It's
Allah.
preparation for up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that seems to, as my sister Miriam pointed out to me earlier, that seems to be a theme in your ministry and in your life that you've used to help inspire others as well as yourself. Where did you come up with that title from?
Well, I came from God. Allah gave it to me because I wanted to let the viewing audience and brothers and sisters around the whole country to read this book, to learn when you're down. That don't mean you out. Don Blues Farrakhan told me, he said, down is not out. Down is preparation for up, if you understand.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Okay. Well, first of all, before we keep going, Mimi sends you greetings, and she also says, tell Daddy she's about to roast him. Thank you, Mimi. Sister Captain Brenda says she says the greetings. Some people, Sister Helene from DC sends the greetings. Sister Lovett sends the greetings. And thank you all for continuing to watch. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Okay, so where can people get the book?
They can get it at www.abdulsharrieff.com. www.abdulsharrieff.com. You can get all you want. You can get them by the dozen. Just buy them. It's for sale.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, anybody that get it tonight, they can get it for $15 right now.
Praise be to
And
Allah.
I don't want to come on there, and I'm just telling you straight up, Josh, I'm not coming on your show to advertise my book, and they just look at my book and they don't buy it.
oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, the supporters and the fans of the People's Podcast, they definitely show
support.
Up. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so I want to go over some of these the titles. So, I mean, the titles of your chapters. So one of them you have facing difficulties. Can you give us an example of a time where you personally had to face difficulty and you overcame it?
Oh, yes. The major difficulty in my life, one of them was when I was relieved as Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very difficult time in my life because now I had to figure out how was I going to take care of my family because I didn't have no income. My wife wasn't working at the time. So now I had to decide, what am I going to do? Because now, that's why I was in the book. I could put on my resume, I was a former Supreme Captain. I know I wasn't going to get hired.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
I decided, what would I do to make an income? So Don Lewis Farrakhan told me when I was talking to him, he told me, he said, look, I want you to study Job in the Bible, his life. I went back to read Job, but bills started coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said, now, how am I going to pay these bills? My wife immediately, that's why I love my wife. I always will love my wife. She immediately went and got a job just like that. No problem, no hesitation, no lip service. She went and got a job.
Praise be to Allah.
Then I decided a while back, I said, wow, I know what I'm going to do. I went and got a contract, but it was called Clean That Company. That was called a cleaning service. So I had enough money. I got the contract. They gave me a few jobs. I'm making it real quick. I got a few jobs. Then I started cleaning daycare centers and all that. But the main thing I want everybody to know, I clean bathrooms. I clean toilets. To take care of my family, wasn't no pride there. I had to take care of my family. So I cleaned toilets. From the Supreme Captain down to cleaning toilets. But as I was cleaning the toilets, I was saying in my mind, I'm not going to be this way all the time. But in the meantime, to take care of my family that I love dearly, I'm going to clean toilets and got contracts. Then contracts started rolling in. And then I got major contracts. And that's how I was able to uplift. So that's why I'm saying down is not necessarily out. Down is preparation for up. Is how you look at it.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. And then you, Brother Minister Sharrieff, you can always take your time while giving us the testimonies, and thank everybody who we come into all the comments. A lot of people showing you love. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. So you're saying if there are men or women who may have lost their job in the pandemic, a lot of people are going through financial hardships, spiritual hardships. You're saying that down. What would you say to somebody who was going through some spiritual hardship right now?
Main thing I would say to you, do not lose faith in God. I don't care what you're going through. I'm going to say it again. I don't care what you're going through. Don't you lose faith in the God you say you believe in. And I'm especially talking about Master Farrakhan Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because he would bring us through anything. There's nothing that he cannot bring us through. Honorable Louis Farrakhan is a testimony to the whole world that down is not out. Down is preparation for us. And I say to each and every one of you out there, just because this little thing called pandemic is going on in your life and you get to the point where they're going to offer you, say to you, they're going to fire you if you don't take this shot, tell them to hell with them. But rely on your God that you say you believe in. He will bring you and us through anything. I want to drive that home to all of us, especially those of us that say we are Muslim followers of Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. There's nothing that we cannot overcome if we trust in Master Farrakhan Muhammad. Remember that.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Excellent, excellent. And thank you all so many. Excellent. And thank you, Dad, for your response. And thank you so many people showing you love. Allah Akbar. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. I got my book already. They just constantly showing love. Yes, sir. Exclamation marks. Beautiful. Okay, wonderful. I got a lot of questions here. My next question for you is, has there ever been a time where you were down and out and someone helped you? And if so, how did that affect you?
Well, I'm gonna go back to when I was down as Supreme Captain. I was down.
Yes, sir.
And the bills was coming in and they was getting really kind of heavy there for a minute before I was able to get control of them. And my friend, I know he probably don't want me to mention his name, but I'm going to say a friend of mine, he was about the only one, because every phone that I called, because Honorable Louis Farrakhan told me when it happened, he said, your phone not going to ring no more. He said, you the same person, but without a title. And he said, your phone not going to ring anymore. I said, yes, sir. I said it at that time, but I'm saying, man, all these people I know, shoot. All right, looked out, but I went, well, when I went home, I checked the phone. I thought the phone was disconnected. It was not ringing anymore. And then when I called people, they wouldn't answer. And then those that did answer got me off the phone like I had AIDS. I said, wow. But it was one brother that I called. He told me, and this time, I'm gonna be honest, straight up, my lights were getting ready to get cut off. And I called and I really felt real bad, but hey, I had the survival time. And I told him, I said, look, brother, I need my lights. But he just said, look, Sharrieff, don't even say it. Just tell me what you need. I said, no, I don't want you. You don't have to explain nothing to me. Just tell me what you need. I told him I needed the phone, the light bills. He said, look, wait a second. At that time, I was from Western Union. He said, just give me the Western Union. He said, give me 10 minutes, you'll be there. Just go pick it up. Now, I'll never forget this brother. He's in this city with me right now in Atlanta. He don't like to be known, but I know he don't like to be known. But I'm telling you, he's my brother. He came through at the most critical hour for me, and I always love him. And that's when he helped me. Time when I was needing, he helped me right through it. Didn't say nothing, just sent it to me. Never even asked for it back. Just told me, look, go. All you've done for your nation and help, these are you. I'll do anything to help you. And he did it, and that's what a brother helped me when I was down.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. Shout out to that brother and his family for having that spirit. And so many people will continue to show you love. Excellent. Okay, Brother Minister Sharrieff. I have to keep reminding myself, Brother Minister. Also, has there ever been a time where because down is not out, down is not out, is preparation for up, AbdulSharrieff.com, make sure you all go get it. Has there been a time where other people were down and that you had to help them out? And if so, how did you go about doing that?
Oh, many people I helped by the grace of God, but I did it from the heart. They're not looking for nothing back. And then they didn't even want me to give. They did not want me not to give them nothing. I mean, they wanted to give it back to me. And I told many of them now, because I know what it's like. And I believe Allah, God allowed me to go through that so I can really feel the hurt of my people. So I never become arrogant, as if look down my nose at my people, thinking I'm better than my people. So I learned, there was a lesson there. There's two things I learned that was key out of being relieved. One was, I believe, this is me now, since I was over men and many men, Now I got a chance again to really feel what is it like for a black man to have a family and not be able to take care of that family. What is that feeling really like?
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I would say different from most men in that situation is my wife didn't have no mouth at that time. My wife, she was very patient with me, and she didn't have that. But I'm saying I get a chance to see what it feels like. What does a man feel like when he know he's capable, but he can't find employment or find a job to take care of his family, especially when he's used to being the breadwinner in the house and taking care of the family? How do you feel in that situation? I got a chance to see, allow me to go through that so I can see what it really feels like for a man that want to take care of his family and circumstances won't allow him to do it. And then to have a wife, a beautiful wife, a spiritual wife that worked and went to work to take care of business at that time. And then it didn't affect my brain that she was making more money than I was bringing in at that time. And I didn't get crazy and get to drinking and smoking and all that madness. But I kept the faith in God because I knew one day, I wasn't going to be down always. And I can say to the world now, God bless me. I'm back.
Praise be to Allah. Down is not out. Make sure you get this. AbdulSharrieff.com. And thank everyone who was in the comments. They have so many things saying, Brother Harold, some true believers, Captain Brenda, praise be to Allah, Captain Deshane, praise be to Allah, Mimi and Naima saying, praise be to Allah. Everybody showing love. And thank you all for continuing to watch the People's Podcast. My next question for you, sir, is being so close to the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, have you ever seen him where he appeared to be down and out? And if so, how do you try to inspire the man who inspires everybody?
One of the times that stands out is after the Million Man March. The minister said it publicly. After the Million Man March, the minister went in, I think he used the word a little depression, but it was that. That's the time I saw him after one of the greatest events in the world. Right after then, he went into like a depression. And I saw him. It was nothing I could do. But I was there always for him to do whatever I could do, but it had to take God to help him. But I wanted to do everything I could. Yes, but what I could do, but pray for him. And that was one of the times that I saw him and felt helpless. But I was there. He knew I had his back, by the grace of God, I still got his back. 100% and then some.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Thank you all for your comments and responses. My next question for you, sir, is handling emotion, chapter 3. What advice would you give to people about handling emotions?
Well, one of the things I say about emotion, all of us, we need to study the Honorable Louis Farrakhan study guides. That's one of the study guides. Rise above emotion into the thinking of God. And I have it in the book, and I gave a demonstration in there. Most of the problems that we have, we get stuck in emotion. As soon as something happened to us, we get all emotional and get stuck there and make the biggest mistake of our lives because of emotion. Instead of we listening to the minister study guide, read it and study it. He said, rise above emotion into the thinking of God. And when you take your time, it's not easy sometimes, according to the circumstances. And you say, take a breath and call on the God to help you through whatever the circumstances is. Not emotional, reasonable. And ask the God to help you get through whatever it is. And you'll see by following the minister's instruction, by rising above emotion into the thinking of God, you'll see that you can get through whatever that circumstance is. And I put it in the book too, because that's when Jesus said, he kept saying, this too shall pass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And no matter what circumstances you're in, on what it is, you'll find out that eventually it's going to pass. So rise above emotion into the thinking of God and read the study guides and study them.
Excellent. Praise be to Allah. Thank you all. Thank you for your response, your transparency and honesty. And thank everyone who continues to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. My next question for you, sir, is, speaking of the most honorable Louis Farrakhan, what was it like when you're married to Sharrieff? You are very close to the minister, and you all are so used to giving out marriage advice. What happens when you need marriage advice and you are at the time in the 90s? Who would you go? How would it if she could go to the minister? But how did that work? Getting marriage advice.
Look, if you married to Sister Sharrieff that I was married to, she went to the minister. That's where she went. Because I'm telling you, her and I had a little dispute, and I, as being a little masculine, and I'm trying to act and show off a little bit. And I say something to her, and I left home. I went on to work. Next thing I know, I get a phone call from her. She calls me later on. The minister. I talked to the minister, and then me it's just me and her on the phone. And I so I thought she was really kidding. She told on me.
Yes,
I said, so? She said, yeah, I told the minister, and the minister told me to tell you that for me to lay down 4 times to die, to give life to you 4 times, and you open your mouth, he told her to tell me, don't open my big fat mouth to her. I said, no, minister didn't say that to you. She said, yes, he did tell me that. She said, he will be seeing you this afternoon. I said, oh. I said, what? I said, did you talk to the minister first? She said, yes, I did. I said, but check this out. I know the minister. He just didn't say that. What else did he say? Well, then now she want to hesitate. Now she want to hesitate because the minister was very balanced. And what he said, he told her, yeah, he told her a few things too. I said, oh, now. I knew for a fact that she talked to the minister there. So, but key is, he told me, don't open my big fat mouth to her negative at all. And do you know one thing? I never did that again. And do you know that? I went to see the minister that evening, right? But I was afraid. So, oh Lord, I'm in trouble.
Yes, sir.
Minister never even mentioned it to me. But he watched me to see how I was going to respond to his statement through my wife. And to this very day, the minister never even mentioned it to me because I already heard his voice through my wife, and I already knew what time it was. And I never opened my big fat mouth again in that way. I learned from that. So that, to answer your question, we went to the minister. And that's how we did.
Well, I want to thank you for giving that advice. For any sister who's interested in talking to me, don't ever think you want to my father about about anything about my big fat mouth or nothing, just for the record. But then speaking of being down and not out, down is not out. What advice would you give to people who are in love, who may be married, and now you have to help your spouse? If they're down and out, how mom had to help you at one point, so Sharrieff had to help you at one point. What advice would you give to the person who is in the position, who's helping the spouse?
Well, I'll say this: in marriage, any marriage, you're going to have ups and downs. And one of the main things that cause divorce it's financial. But when you take your vow, you have that in there. The worst of for rich or poor, that you all want to take out. That's in the vow. And if you really down for your husband and your husband really down for you, if you hit a rough spot and your wife have to take the mantle for a few minutes, let her do it, but don't do it ignorant and arrogant with your ego in the way. Things happen. I never planned on being without income. That wasn't in the plan at all, but things happen. You don't know how your trial gonna come. In the Quran, it say hard trials are necessary to establish truth. So if you want a true relationship, you're gonna have trials in it. And you don't know how your trial gonna come. But if it come and deal with finance, if you're not emotional, and if you know how to rise above emotion, and you're not arrogant, and your ego's not to the point where you can't handle it, you can get through anything. So if it's on the sister side and she making the most money for the time being, that don't mean for you to go and get lazy and don't do nothing, brother. No, you keep driving until you get yourself back on your feet and then take the reins and say, you tell your wife, look, I got it now, babe. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Because my wife made it very clear. When I started getting paid, she ain't had no problem. She came to me, she said, this is the last week I'm working. And I was saying to myself, wait a minute, we just. And you know what she told me? I never forgot. She said, if I don't stop working, you won't become the man you're supposed to be. I said, what man or woman is this? Good God Almighty. I said, yes, man. And she didn't work no more. And I stood up and rose up and grabbed the mantle and took care of business as usual. Beautiful. I thank Allah for my wife.
Praise be to Allah. Excellent. Sisters, don't get no ideas. Okay, so I want to thank for all the sponsors of the People's Podcast. this episode. We got student minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad. He's going to continue to give us some great information as well as inspiration with this new book. But I want to make sure that I give a shout out to all of the sponsors that have been consistently supporting. If you would like to be a sponsor or donor, please cash app the People's Podcast. Starting with my brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. Please go out and get those. My other sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. And right here in the studio in Atlanta, we love our tiny dancers. Sister Rashida Rafat, Rock Communications. She's doing a 5-year special with her book. If you need copy editing, project management, any consulting, anything dealing with writing a book, please reach out to Rock Communications with Sister Rashida Rafat. Thank you very much. Make sure you reach out to her. Our sisters out of Houston, Texas, Sister Melba Muhammad, Elevated Places, an amazing school where they're teaching young kings and queens about engineering, Spanish, all these different languages. I am where God says I am. Thank you very much, Sister Melva. We're coming right back to Student Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad. Conflict mediation, squashing the beef. Student Minister out of Austin, Texas, Brother Robert L. Muhammad. He's doing a great job in the community, working with squashing the beef. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High, giving birth to a God. She does a great job teaching that. Please reach out to Sister Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High. Thank you very much. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country. Thank you very much, Brother Kenneth. I'll be reaching out to you soon. Asiatic Minds Online, a virtual school with Sister Sharrieff Muhammad. I'm a part of the program and have been assisting her, and they have students from all over the country learning how to be young kings and queens and gods. Thank you very much, Asiatic Minds. We're coming right back to Student Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad, Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, new location on the east side by Stonecrest, Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services out of Chicago. My father's other book, I'm a Soldier, the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharrieff.com. And make sure we put this on the plug. Down is not out, AbdulSharrieff.com as well. Thank you very much. And Cleopatra, my children's book with the K, is on Amazon, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Thank you all very much for your sponsorships and your donations. And thank everyone for all the people in the comments. Boom.
But Josh, can I say something right at this juncture?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to say to all of you out there that listen to my son, he's every week. And I'm telling you, any man should be proud of his son doing what my son is doing. And I'm saying to you all should support him. I mean, right now, John, where's your cash out?
The People's Podcast.
The People's Podcast. I'm saying all of you all out there that's getting a free ride, I'm tired of that. See, he ain't gonna say it. I'll say it. I want you all right now to go to People's Podcast and support my son. He could be out there doing some of anything. But this man going to school, getting ready to get his master, and he come here every week without fail, talking to you all and giving everybody a mouthpiece to the public. Now you all support him. Do you hear me? I'm saying to you all right now, support my son, Joshua Muhammad, that I love dearly. Right now, People's Podcast. Now, Josh, I want to hear your cash app start ringing. If not, I'm not saying nothing else. Love you all.
Thank you very much. Mimi says that's true, Daddy. Josh is so embarrassed. Brother Garthian says, Assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Garthian. Sister Andrea, this is beautiful. Show we enjoy listening and learning. Praise be to Allah. Sister Helene from DC says she ordered her book. And everybody's saying, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
I want to know if they sending something to your cash app. I want to know.
Everybody showing love. I didn't see anything yet, but it's okay.
Okay. No. I want you all, black people, to support black people. Here's a young man that's striving to do right, and he needs your support. So show it. Don't talk it. Show it right now. Hit that cash out. People's Podcast right now.
Praise be to Allah. Okay.
I probably won't be on here no more.
Brother Lewis is saying that's Assalamu alaikum, and Sister Helene said we on it. Okay, thank you all very much, and thank you very much for that. Okay, with that, speaking of that, No Father, No Excuse. I write a book about 4 years ago about what it's like growing up with you being on the road. So many people who workaholic fathers, maybe have absentee fathers. When you first heard that I was writing the book, how did you feel about that?
First of all, I said, what? Gonna put in that book. But I didn't say, that's how I thought. I said, what? I want him to be free to say whatever you want to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure people know, because people are like, okay, well, how do you talk about, what it was like growing up, and then, it's still good.
Well, Josh, to tell you the truth, read his book. Buy his book. He ain't pulling no punches.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, that's so your next. I got another chapter is Strong Family, Strong Nation. Chapter 9, Strong Family, Strong Nation. Boom. Why is that so important to you?
Because I had to learn balance. So when I started off, man, I was strictly nation, nation, nation. But the Honorable Louis Farrakhan had to bring the balance, because most of us, and most especially men, when we get in the FOI, man, we were strictly straight up.
Yes,
FOI
sir.
fruit to the day we die. But we got to get our family. God, family, nation. So that's what I had to do. I had to learn the balance. And that's why the minister did a study guide, struggle for balance. The minister study guides, my brothers and sisters, we all need to get them and study them. It's a roadmap to success. Struggle for balance. And oftentimes you think, well, we think we already got it. We know it. No. I was nation, nation, nation. I wasn't thinking about nothing else but nation time. If anything got in the way, I'm sorry. And I know Josh, she's going to say, I didn't throw the football to Josh. Until later on, my wife told me, and my mother-in-law told me, said, look, you need to start going to Josh's game and go. And I said, oh. And then when I went, I enjoyed it so much. I wanted to go in there and play with it, but I didn't do that. So I had to get the balance. That's right.
Praise be to Allah. Chapter 9, Strong Family, Strong Nation. And please remember, down is not out. AbdulSharrieff.com. Excellent. I can't wait to put this on. Is that people send the Cash App. Thank everyone.
Oh, so the Cash App, that's what I'm now. I can talk free, for real.
Okay.
That's why. Support my son.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you very much for that. Okay.
Then he won't be in my pocket.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So the next question is, have you ever busted somebody when you were the spring captain, the captain of DC, or in Atlanta, being a minister? Have you ever had to bust somebody and then later regret how it had to come about? And if so, what was that like?
Well, one of the things I had to do first as spring captain, I busted, and I don't know if I'm saying I regret it because it was he violated, but he feels some kind of way to this very day. I had to bust my son because he violated, and the minister told me, and gave me a minister, but the minister was very kind. When he told me, he said, look, you could do it, or I could do it. I said, Lord Jesus. So I did. I said, no problem, I'll do it. Because he already knew that was a trial for me, but he already knew, and everybody else knew. If I bust my own son, you ain't stand a chance if you violated. So I had to relieve my son and busted him. And to this day, he still feels some kind of way about it. But hey, I'm a Farrakhan man, still is.
Yes, sir.
You violate,
yes,
oh, damn, you my mama. You violate,
yes,
I got to do it.
Shout
I mean, I don't love you, but hey, I had to violate. I had to relieve.
Shout out to Grandma Evelyn. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for that. My next question for you is, did you ever have to, how was it making a transition from being such a strong, hard captain to now being a strong minister, but transitioning from being a lawman to being more of a loving man, like, the spiritual side of it? How was that transition into that?
At first, coming to being a student minister, I still had the same mindset. So I had to struggle for balance because the captain was supposed to do that part and I had to do the ministry part. But I found myself sometimes getting over in that lane. I had to pull myself back for balance. But to me, it was smooth transition for me to come on over. So I got over and stayed in my lane. So it was easy for me to do it after a period of time.
Praise be to Allah. Naima says, "Oh, Grandma Evelyn." You said you said you because you said you didn't care if it was your own mama. Thank you, brother Kareem Ali from Memphis, and everybody who continue to show love. My next question for you is dealing with Mother Tanetta. Do you have a story about her, like any interaction that you had, like your favorite memory with her?
Well, right. One of my favorite memories when we was in Key West, Florida, and the minister was there, and all of us came down there, and then we got a boat and went out in the water, and she went with us, and she jumped right out the boat in the water. Well, she had a uniform on, but she jumped in the water and walked around in the water with a uniform on, and then later on that afternoon we was riding the boat, there a big old a shark came rolling right on by the boat. I said, wow, a shark in that water. And she was not afraid at all. I said, boy, what a woman is this right here, man. So that's one of my memories of her being down to earth.
Praise be to
Not that
Allah.
most people see it get spooky.
Yes,
But I'm
sir.
talking about down to earth.
Excellent. And we have some spooky questions later on. So what about Mother Farrakhan? You've been around her for so long. Can you tell us your favorite memory with her?
My mom was always smooth. No matter what happened, she just is calm. And no matter, she could tell, she could look at us or look at me and tell if something was on our face, on my mind or not. Being around her father, her husband. And she would always say some calming words without saying, I know what you're going through. She just said, it's like she can read your mind. And mom was always still that way, but she always can look, she can sense something, and then address it without going into questioning to you. And I used to be wondering, how mom know this? She know just seem like she just know just what to say to ease whatever discomfort that might be on your mind. And that's how I remember my mom. Still to this day, she's still the same way. I love her for that.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah.
And she always asks, how's your wife and family? Always. And I thank her for that. Yes.
Excellent. Praise be to Allah. Down is not out. AbdulSharrieff.com. And thank you all that. I see some more cash apps. So thank you very much. Thank you. And all people who are on YouTube, I can't wait to like, share, subscribe. Just a minute, Aisha from Phoenix says, good. And I just want to thank everybody who always watches the People's Podcast. My next question for you, sir, is Minister Jabril.
Yes,
can you tell us your favorite memory with him?
Well, we used to travel in the early days. Brother Jabril used to always travel with the minister. Most people don't know this. And remember, he used to have a camera himself at that time. Everywhere he'd go, he would always be taking pictures. And the minister would be on the stage speaking, and I would be on the stage speaking. He would always go out in the audience. He'd be taking pictures. Everybody sitting in the picture. And everybody would be looking, wondering why he taking pictures to print them or something. And then when we get back to the hotel room, he would have the pictures developed, and we would get on the floor. And the minister too. And we would look at all the pictures, spread my brother Jabril, put them all, line them up and look. And he would look and say, look, this brother here was with us in this city. And then the next city, he would look and see the picture. This brother, that's how we used to, the early days, we would know who was following us in all the different cities. Most of y'all know nothing about that. Brother Jabril was not only taking pictures, he was not only the minister, he was the head of our CIA, our intelligence, all that. And he was just unassuming, nobody paid too much attention and go around taking pictures. And those are my memorable moments, how he could get up close and we would get back in the hotel room and go through the pictures, and then we knew who was following us from city to city. That's one of the highlights of it.
Beautiful, praise be. So I never heard that story, so thank you very much. Okay, yes, sir. Brother Kareem Ali, we definitely gonna come to that story, and Nina says, "Oh, praise be to Allah." Speaking of him being the head of the CIA and working inside the nation, I've been doing interviews lately, studying history, dealing with assassination attempts. Man, you just with all this modern technology, it seems like security can be better. But when you all started off the early days, were you ever nervous about assassination attempts on a minister without the full army, the full E-team, the full Instagram, Wi-Fi, all of this? How did you handle that?
Look, we talking about, that's how you know prayer is real. We prayed a lot because whether you know it or not, this enemy really wanted to kill. They still do, but I mean, they tried to kill the minister early on for real. The Jews was going around hollering and making all kind of lies on the minister and stirring up all the doggone Jews that really didn't know the truth and stirring up black people who really didn't know the truth. And I'm telling you, one of the most, I would say the most tense moments that I remember in security with the minister was in Maryland. When the police, the state troopers and all, they was all up on the roof with their rifles and all in the back. This is the first time Brother Ali was the supreme captain at that time. This is where they wanted to take total control of the security of us going into the back of the stage in Maryland, the university out there. And I was always like the point person from the security team at that time that would go ahead and assess things. And I looked and I went and I saw, I mean, they wanted to turn the lights out in the back. I mean, I'd never seen it like this before. And you could feel the tension. It was tense, man. I said, these devils, boy, they really want to get the minister tonight. And I read it, felt the spirit, and the minister always told me, tell him whatever's on my mind. Tell it, because I don't know. He said, you don't know, whatever I just might say might fit a puzzle that he already had, that piece might fit right into it. So I was telling Mr. everything I knew. So when I went back to the hotel, I was a little reluctant, but I said, Brother Minister, I've never seen a security like this before. And it's tense. And they, to me, the way they got it all set up, the snipers and everything, they really want to try to kill you tonight. And I said, if I may say this, I think you should go through the front door tonight. Throw them all off. He snapped and looked at me. I said, oh, shit, I thought I said the wrong thing. Minister looked at me. Man, with them piercing eyes, I said, oh, I said the wrong thing. And when I finished saying that, he got up as usual and went into his room and closed the door because he always go and pray, no matter what. Before you come out, they go in the room and pray. And I'm walking around, I'm saying, oh man, I hope the minister don't think I'm trying to say it much. But I'm saying I read that and I never seen it like that before. It was tense. And I called back over there and checked. Brother Ali, it was real tense. So when the minister came out of the room, he had his coat ready. Let's go. And it was time to move out real quick. We had codes then. We didn't do a whole lot of talking. And I hit the number, certain code we gave. Man, everybody run. We ran to the elevator, got the minister, walked on out the door. We went, got in the car, limousine. Shoot, it was time to move. And as we start approaching the university, the minister said, I mean, very stern. He said, look, how far is the front door from the street? I said, maybe about 25 steps. He said, all right. He said, I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna pull over. I don't want nobody to get out the car, but just Brother Mustafa and you and me. And I had already told the brothers, boy, they know with a certain kind of tone I had, don't nobody violate because the minister didn't play and I didn't play either. So now this is the first time the minister said, when I get up there, I want you to stop. I want to stop up there. We're gonna get out. I told the brother, I said, listen up, sternly, don't nobody violate. I said, we're gonna pull over when we get back to the front of the university and we're gonna get out and everybody else drive right to the back like we was normally gonna do. Everybody was shook up because they never did that before. Minister opened that, when they opened that side door, it's like the minister just sprung out the car. Bam! He jumped out. And Mustafa was right behind him when I was leaving. We got out, slammed the door back. We went into the front door of the museum, of the Coliseum. It's the first time we ever did it like that. The minister went right on through, Mustafa went through, had the walkthrough, went right on through. The minister went right on through. Now here I come. When I get ready to go through, God damn thing go off. So anyway, I had to hurry up and get through and catch up. And when the minister walked in, if you go back and look at the video when the minister spoke at Maryland at the university, you see it. Minister came in, he was taking his coat off when he was walking on the bleachers, and he was walking toward the stage. And there's Jamil. Jamil spot the minister. He wait. He yelled, and here he is, the Honorable Louis. And the minister walking out the bleachers. So everybody turned around and looked, and the minister walked on across, got up on the stage, and everybody went off. And the police was so angry with Brother Ali, the Supreme Council, because Brother Ali didn't know we made that move because we didn't tell nobody. They was angry. And they said, Brother Frank, they called Brother Frank at the time. Brother Frank, why didn't you tell us? Why are you so upset? As long as the minister in there safe. That's how we really knew they had something planned. But that was one of the tense moments, and I was glad that the minister had made that move, and we got right on in. You can go look at the video, man. It threw everybody off. Minister went through the front door and went on and tore it up when he got on that stage. The rest is history. Praise his name.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And everybody is showing you love, saying, yes, sir. Sister Lean from DC says she remembers that.
Okay.
She said she was almost at the stage. He was almost at the stage before we even knew it.
Praise.
And then Brother Lewis says, yes, yes. So many people just showing you love. Thank you all very much. Remember, Down is Not Out, AbdulSharrieff.com. Thank you very much. Make sure we go out and get that. My next question for you, sir, is speaking of Mother Tanetta, Mother Farrakhan, Minister Jabril, dealing with a lot of UFO talk is on Netflix, Hulu, on demand. Everybody wants to talk about the wheel in the form of, they call it UFO, but for we know what's going on. However, there have been people like myself who've been in the Nation of Islam. I don't look in the sky. I believe that's good enough for me. I've never had the experience. You being with the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, do you believe that there's a mother plane wheel in the sky?
I don't want to believe. I know this. I've seen the plane with the minister. The minister showed me the plane when we was going to Africa. I was sitting right behind the minister on the plane, first class. And the minister told me, he tapped me, he said, look at the window. And I did a daddy do a double take. I looked at the window, I said, whoa.
Mm.
And the plane was right there following us. And then when you go to the scripture, they say, wherever Son of Man went, the plane went.
Wow.
I can bear witness that the plane followed the minister on all our trips, all over. In America, the plane is there. You believe when we was at the farm recently, the plane was there. You saw it. You saw people showing it.
Yes, sir.
That is real. And I'm telling you, we was in Africa. We went to Ghana early in '86. That was real early. And I told this story many times. I'm gonna say it real quick again. And the minister got there. And you know, in the daytime, no bats don't come out in the daytime nowhere. The bats was out and they covered the sky like it was dark. And everywhere the minister went, the cloud of the bats was over us. And once we, the minister got left the city, the country, and went next door to Burkina Faso, the minister called back and asked the guest, our host, are the bats still there? He said, no, the bats, when the minister left, the bats went away. And the minister explained to us, he said, look, bats have very sensitive ears. And they heard the plane. That's why they came out in the daytime. And when the minister left, the bats went back to business as usual. And I'm telling you, I've seen the plane. I've seen on many occasions. I know for a fact that it exists and it's real.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah.
Now you all can take that to the bank and cash it in and send me the money.
Excellent. Now, when you're looking at it, it doesn't frighten you.
Not me, not at all. See, when you know who's on there,
yes, sir.
Why would you be frightened?
Yes, sir.
That's our people up there. That's the on the plane. That's our people.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
Hon Farrakhan, I made it clear. 2 of them backing him up.
Yes, sir.
And he proved that. So if we with him, they with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, good God Almighty. I don't know what's wrong with our people.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Brother Hoyle says 100%. Sister Audra, all his names. I mean, thank you, Sister Brandy X, Sister Aline says Allah Akbar, Mimi says Allah Akbar. Everybody saying Allah Akbar, Brother Garth, and y'all praise be to Allah. Beautiful. I gotta make sure I get all of these things. Oh, the world tour. When the Most High Mr. Farrakhan, you've been with him for so many of his travels, but what was it like when he would leave the country and you at the time were Supreme Captain, and now you're second to him, and now he's gone? What's going through your mind while the minister is on foreign land?
It was sad to me because I wanted to go. Don't leave me. So he had to go take care of business with. I had to stay back and cover down. But I just prayed and went to work and kept working here and doing things that kept things going. But I really wanted to be with him, and I wanted to go with him, man. But when the minister gave an order, I just hear no pay. That's how it was. My heart was with them on the trip, but I wanted to go. But he wanted me to stay and cover down, so that's what I did.
Okay, yes, sir. Praise
I'm a soldier for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And don't you all forget that.
Praise be to Allah. And thank everyone for continuing to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast.
And send charity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just podcast.
Absolutely.
Support my son.
Thank you very much. My next question for you is: recently, it was all over social media. So many believers now they're seeing you. Were praying for you as you went through a health challenge, right? How could you come back? First of all, how did that affect you? And then how could you come back and immediately start an art, write books? Like what's going on? What's going on with that? What's going on?
No, because it was surprising to me because I didn't know I was sick for a few minutes. And see, God tries you with everything. And if you know scripture, he'll try you. And look, and let me just check this. I don't want nobody to get sad, nothing like, because it ain't about being sad, just facts. I just lost my wife not too long ago. I miss her so much, excuse me. And I lost, and then my young son had to get his toes amputated off his foot. All this stuff was hitting me, man. And I was constantly working because I kept working. I didn't stop. The minister even said, "You kept working." I said, "Yes, sir." That's how I had to try to get over this. And then at the same time, the stress level was high. I didn't even realize it. The day that I had the tumor of an aneurysm, whatever you call it, it wasn't really a stroke, wasn't nothing, none of that. They said they never noticed it like that, quite like that before. And my head was hurting. I don't get headaches. I don't get headaches. my head was hurting me. It started like maybe that Monday. And then I said, wow, my head hurting and it didn't stop. Then sister told me, she said, have you ever taken a BC? I said, I remember a long time ago I did. She said, take one. So my head was hurting. I took it. I took the BC and it stopped. Then the next day it was hurting again. I said, she had a BC. I took the BC this time. It didn't work. Anyway, I still went on to work that day and I didn't feel too good. Then the third day, it was hurting real bad. I said, well, I'm going home and lay down. And the sister said, she saw on the side of my head, my vein was sticking out, but I didn't see it. I guess I was hurting so bad, I didn't realize. She said, you need to go to the hospital and get that checked out. So now I'll be all right. I'm going home and get some rest. So then Charles, my brother, drives for me, always my security man. He said, you want me to drive? I said, no, I'm about fine because it's the middle of the day. I'm going home. Y'all cool. God let me, bless me. I drove home. I didn't feel nothing. I drove home, and then when I drove up in the driveway, my daughter drove up behind me, Sister Miriam, police officer, excuse me. She saw me, and I was just sitting there. I opened the door, but I couldn't get out the car. And she came on. She thought I was joking. She said, Dad, you want me to help you? I said, yeah, help me, because I couldn't get my leg out there. That's the first thing that ever happened to me. So she helped me get out the car, and then she helped me stand up, and I stood up. Then I walked. I was all right then. Then I walked in. She said, you all right? I said, I'm fine. Then I walked on in the house, went on upstairs and went in the room. I usually close my door, and Josh, you up there. But this day, I just left the door open. And I went in the room and changed clothes, laid down. And Josh came by, my son. He came by, and I don't know what he said. Josh, I don't even know what, I still don't know what made you come there and look. And you said, Dad, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. I said, no. Now, Josh, you can tell me now, because I really don't know how you go. What made you call Mimi?
Okay, yes, sir. Sister Allison called me.
Okay.
And she said, have you seen your dad? I said, yeah, I seen him. He was straight. Because I was outside with Mimi when you pulled up to the car, but I just thought you was tired. And Sister Allison said, she used Dianetics language. Mm-hmm. She was like, something like a straight wire or something. She was like, something's off. His tone scales dropped. He need to go to the hospital. Look at him. Put some eyes on. I was like, I just seen him. So she said, go look at him again. And when I was asking you stuff that you usually would know, start talking about money and stuff, I was like, okay. You ain't get it. So I was like, Mimi, I'm about to call 911. I'm just letting everybody know the dad is not doing well. So that's how that happened. Because Allison called. She said she saw you and she used some Dianetic term, and I was like, okay, let me go double check him. And that's how it happened.
Okay, and then Josh, and then I remember a little later on when Josh said, look, I'm gonna call 911. And I said, man, I'm fine. And then apparently you called Mimi, the police, excuse me. Mimi called, and she said, I guess she told you to call 911 anyway. Next thing I know, they was coming up the steps. And I'm like, Josh, don't you kidding? And people came. And I'm saying, yeah. And then they had two females, and then the male. They came and they said, Mr. Muhammad, you all right? I said, I'm fine. You mind we take your sign, your pulse speed and all that? I said, yeah. They took my pulse, I was all right. They took my blood pressure, I was all right. And all my signs was fine. And they said, and the supervisor said, Mr. Muhammad, I think you should just go to the hospital and get checked out. You can always come back home. I said, you really think I should go? He said, yeah, I think you should go. I said, all right, let's go. And then they strapped me up, put me in the doggone ambulance and took me off, and Josh, my main man, followed me all the way. Next thing I know, damn, I was up and they get ready to operate. They got the what the hell? They said got to operate on me because of some brain. Damn, no, that quick. And I said, I just started praying. I thought about what the minister said when he was going through this. I started praying to Master Elijah Muhammad. They took me. They said they were going to take me that morning. I had to go down the next morning for operation, but they came back and said we got to take him early. They came back and took me early, took me down, and they did the little procedure and stuff. And the doctor was, when they brought me back up, and I did wake back up and see. Doctor was shocked. He said, Mr. Muhammad, you all right? They asked me some questions. Yeah, I'm straight. He said, you sure? I said, I'm straight. They was shocked. The doctors were shocked to see my reaction, how I bounced back. God, that's how I knew Master Farrakhan Muhammad was real. That's why I'm telling you all, Master Farrakhan Muhammad is real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then when I did wake up, Josh, you called the minister, right?
Yes, sir.
And the minister called and he spoke to me. I'm straight. Hey, I'm straight now. And They said, in a few days, they said, look, Mr. Muhammad, you ready to go home? We be able to take this out your head, back in your head. I said, yeah, I'm ready to go home. And then I got out the hospital so fast, they didn't believe it. That's how I know Master Sharrieff Muhammad. And I went home for a few days, man, I'm ready to go back to work. The doctor told you up there. And the doctor, the police, all them there, all the police, my children. They said, no, you take the rest. And my children took care of me like a champ. And I thank them for that. My girls and the boys.
Praise be to Allah.
I thank a lot for them.
Yes, sir.
And
We
now
thank a lot
I'm
for
back.
you. Thank a lot for you. And I want to thank a lot for all of the believers via social media who prayed and they sent so much love to you. And everybody who understood that during this time, it was a pandemic. So we can only do one person at a time. That's a trial. Everybody want to be on post. That's a trial. You know, all of that. But I want to make sure I give a special shout out to Brother Wazir, formerly Brother Donald, who made it clear you trained them, you helped them, and all of this. He was calling every day him, Brother Khalil, some people on the E team, some people around. But when he said, hold for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I said, all right, man. And the minister said so many kind words about you and prayed for you and prayed with us while you were getting surgery. He prayed with me and Rashad. So that was beautiful. So shout out to the minister as well.
Thank everybody who did send the prayers. Prayers of the righteous availeth much. I thank each and every one of you for your prayer. But don't stop praying for me. Keep praying.
Praise be to Allah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, my next question for you is, seeing how you went through a health challenge, how had seeing the Most High Minister Louis Farrakhan and some of his health challenges up close and personal, how did that affect your faith in a good way or bad? Like, how did that help seeing when you seen the man of God in a sad condition?
I seen the minister up close, and I seen him, no matter what the minister went through, always call on Master Sharrieff Muhammad. I did the same thing. Because the minister told me, even when my wife was going through her challenges at the hospital, had to go operate. He said the same God that went in the room with me is the same God that going in the room with you. I said, good God Almighty. Yes, sir. I have total faith in Master Sharrieff Muhammad. Still do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Excellent. And thank everyone for watching. Okay. And continue to like, share to the People's Podcast. My next question for you, sir, is to lighten the mood, some stuff that you like to watch on TV for fun to relax.
To relax?
Yes, sir.
That's a little difficult because all my children and Josh coming on, Dad, stop watching the news. I like to watch the news to see what's going on. They say, no, that's not good for you watching the news all the time. So Josh, he'll come in the room, Dad, you want me to put on a comedy movie, a Western, or a gangster movie, anything, just stop watching goddamn news. So what's the new one? Snowfall, and my man in Harlem, what's that? Godfather Harlem. I got addicted to all that stuff. So I like watching all those movies. Just take your mind off the real serious stuff.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful.
That's what my children do for you.
Excellent.
Thank them.
Excellent. And we're gonna come to the family tree so you can help explain where you came from, so we can have the verbal history for all of the children, the grandchildren, and great grandchildren down the line, inshallah. Beautiful. My next question for you is, the pandemic is causing on social media. That's why it's so important. Down is not out. So many people that I know are going through depression privately and publicly. Many people are going through depression publicly. What advice would you give them when you see people having breakdowns on social media?
I would say to them, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan gave us dynamics. He saw a tech that will work. And I would say that everybody watching, get audited. Get audited. I'm not telling you to become a Scientologist. Minister never told us that. But he said it's a tech that will work and help us. I went through it and still go through it. Open up the first dynamic center for Black people in America. Right here at the Ark. We'll get to that later.
Yes, sir. Yes,
now,
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm saying to you, mental illness is real in the Black community. And one of our biggest problems as Black people is that we are in denial. You'll see our people going through something, somebody in your family going through it. You'll even see yourself going through it. I know I'm not, nothing wrong with me. Then you get on social media, talk like a fool, and then somebody try to say, look, bro, sister, hey, you need to go get some help. Not me. I'm straight. That's when you know you need to get some help. And all of us, I would say, get professional counseling. Or get that audited. Professional counseling. Not no pseudo counseling. Get professional counseling and get audited. Auditing works. I'm telling you, auditing works. Don Blues Farrakhan had never led us wrong. Nothing. So get audited. If you have a problem, you need to find somebody, call me and I'll guide you to the right place to get audited if you're in this area. That's what I would suggest to everybody, because mental illness is real. And now it's coming out more so we trapped in our homes and we round out people longer than we ever been before, and all kinds of stuff is going on. And you looking at the dog on TV and see all the madness and listen to crazy music and all that stuff is driving us crazy. Get audited. Professional counseling. Mel, I bless you. Love you.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank everybody's watching, and thank you all for continuing to like, share, subscribe. People are bearing witness to. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. My next question was dealing with. I want to tell everybody, people who knew Minister Sharrieff pre-ordering, pre-getting therapy, and after is two different people. Like it is with me, like it is with everybody. I want to bear witness that my father's military man, strict. Everybody knows that most FOIR. When he came back from that 6-week trip, the first thing that he told me was that he wouldn't beat his grandchildren anymore. Something I also want to ask you about getting all whatever you went through in them 6 weeks when you said that, because that's a trial for my children. I'm like, oh no, ain't nobody beating my kids. I'm Maz, Sada, Malaya. No, when Mimi yells at them, I get mad. You know what I'm saying? When their own parents yell at them, I get mad. So what was it about, getting audited that made you say you're not going to beat your grandchildren? What is that like? Because I didn't, please explain to us.
Well, I'm saying when I'm not going to beat my grandchildren, I'm saying I'm not going to discipline.
I know. Right. Well, beating. Well, praise be to Allah for not beating. Because
they look behind these discipline, they will get it. Okay, maybe, yes, right. Mm-hmm. Yes. But anyway, I'm saying, but getting audited, going through, because everything leads back to your own childhood. Mm-hmm. And then by getting audited and going back to my childhood, I saw what my father did to us, and I never wanted to be able to do that sort of, but it helped me. But I didn't want to pass that on to the next generation. My wife was real. She did not want us, or look, be very kind. And that's why we had to make an agreement. I wouldn't touch the girls. She handled the disciplinary part for the girls. I handled the boys. And then if I ever had a discipline and I did have to do sometimes, they stand all outside the door like goddamn police. Anyway, but it didn't do wrong. You turn out all right. By the grace of God.
Absolutely.
So anyway, during that auditing process, I got a little balance to my life. That you don't have to just beat all the time. You can reason, talk. That's what helped me.
Excellent. And Naima says, Pop-Up doesn't even yell at his grandbabies. And Mimi said, Pop-Up doesn't spank or yell at these children. That's beautiful. It's really amazing. And they're disciplined, so that's good too. Down is not out. AbdulSharrieff.com. Okay, I have a quick question for you that I always ask people about their legacy and things like that. But prior to 75, a lot of the believers who I've been interviewing, they talk about how the believers lost their mind when the Most Hon Elijah Muhammad departed. That was such a huge trial. I mean, some people literally went crazy. Some people lost their families. There's so many people I've interviewed and I've heard the testimonies. Now that it's the second examination, it's going to be our trial. The Most Hon Elijah Farrakhan is going to depart. I think it will be different for me, the children, and the other generation who didn't go on the tour with the minister for all those years. We don't know him up close. He never said we was friends, companions. It's not the same. For somebody who walked with him for over 40 years, what is your plan when he departs?
My faith. That's when your faith really gonna be tested. I believe what the Honorable Farrakhan has been teaching us all these years. Mm-hmm. He has told us he's going away. He's going on a plane with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he will return in 3-4 years. I believe that. That's the balance part. So when it comes, nobody want to see him leave. Nobody want to see him leave. But you ask him how. I'm praying to Master Muhammad that I handle that right. I'm striving hard to be able to handle that when it happens. Nobody want to see Daddy leave.
Yes.
But if that's when the time comes, he done told us, he prepared us the best he can for that eventuality. So when it happens, I got to go inside and call on the God. He's going away. He's going to be back. And he told me and others that some of us would see him leave.
Yes, sir.
And we will have to come back and tell the believers that he left. So that's comforting to me to know that he shall return one day, inshallah. So that's what I'm praying to Allah that I'll be able to stand and hold on to that. And I'm saying to everybody, that's what you got to hold on to your faith. Your faith gonna be tested. If you really believe or not.
Yes, sir.
And then how many right now don't believe that Hon Elijah Muhammad is alive?
So do I. Yes, sir.
See? Well, I mean, and that's what happened back that day. They couldn't believe that he was alive. And they lost it. But the ministers have been preparing us, and now those of us that flip out, hopefully I can bring you back.
Yes, sir. Okay, beautiful. And okay, well, how did you deal with in your time with the Most High Farrakhan all these years when people, I don't know if they have, but I'm asking, who may have told you who are in the ranks that they don't believe the Most High Elijah Muhammad is alive? What do you say to them to try to get them to believe that?
I don't recall anybody telling me that.
Oh, they never told you.
No, they never told me that.
Okay.
They probably lying, but if they would, they probably feel that way, but they never say it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm saying it for many people
Yes,
behind the scenes. I mean, I was looking like, come on, like, but it's people that you would never expect.
Mhm.
They hold strong to this and that, but they just that particular point number 12, we're dealing with that is a trial for them. And I always try to give them the apology. I try to give them all these Savior's Day clips. I try to, tell them, watch this 1995 and this 1997. Like, what would you say as somebody who's walked with the Most High Farrakhan for so long? Why do you believe the Most High Elijah Muhammad specifically still alive?
Because number one, what made me believe because Mr. said it.
Mm.
And then the second thing is when the minister first got the palace back, most people don't know this. When the minister first got the palace back that night, Brother Akil and I, we was at the house on Damon Street because we was doing some work in the upper room. And when the minister got the palace back that day, the Goliaths said they was going to burn it down because they did not want the minister in the nation to have it. So Brother Akil and I, we told the minister we would go over and do security on the palace.
Mm.
So we went that night. I slept upstairs in the room, and Brother Akil slept on the downstairs in the room on security. Man, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, something woke me up, and I'll be like, Mom was standing there. Good God Almighty, the shock, that scared the hell out of me.
Yes, sir.
And I said, huh? And I saw it in my own eyes. I don't tell people that because they think I'm crazy. I saw it. And I said, I ran out that room with my underclothes on. And I ran downstairs and I told Akil bear with me. He laughed at me so much. Man, what's wrong? I said, man, I'm like, Mom's upstairs. He laughed at me, man. He laughed at me. And I'm saying, I saw him. And I went back. And the next morning, I told Mother Tanya and Brother Jabril and the minister. And Sister Mother Tanya and Brother Jabril interrogated me. Mm-hmm. What did he have on? How was he looking? I mean, they went over and over. Mm-hmm. It all reminded me of Auditor. Go back to the beginning and start all over again. I had to go through all of that, man. And that's how I know for sure, because I saw him. Mm-hmm. But I didn't go out publicly and say nothing to nobody because I know they're going to think I'm crazy for real. But I saw him. I know he's alive. Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, y'all can believe it or not. I don't care.
Yes, sir. And you saying you sure you weren't sick?
I wasn't sick. I wasn't drinking. None of that. I was sober until I ran out of that. And that's real. By the grace of God.
Yes, sir. And when everything they took down and things like that, and you told the minister, what did the minister say when you told him?
He listened to me just like all three of us together when they was questioning me. He asked me a few questions and I told him the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And that was it. They never said anything to me about it. But some time they wrote it down and Brother Bill wrote it. I don't know what they did with it. But that's a fact.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. So many people are saying thank you for sharing this. Talon Henry says thank you for sharing with us. All praises to Allah.
That's real, brothers.
Brother Kareem Ali says he has stories, but he doesn't say anything because folks think you're crazy. What a blessing. Sister Latrice, everybody showing love. Sister Hagar, Sister Captain Brenda. Sister Captain Brenda, stop running. That's Sister Brenda from here. She's still running from getting interviewed. Not in the mood, Sister Brenda. But I wanted to ask you that. Mimi said you on the phone. And she pointed that out.
Oh, police. I've done a police. My daughter, she loved me so much. She's police for real.
Yes, sir. Okay, so what advice would you give to people like Brother Kareem Ali and others who are now, the interview I did with Brother Vince, him talking about the will? That's not something everybody talks about. Brother Waleed saying he saw it. Everybody with pictures. And what advice would you give to people who have an experience or see something Should they wait until the minister leaves? Should they say it now?
No. No, you should tell it. You don't know who you're going to help by telling your experience. And that's why, if you know, the minister said we should write our own story. When he gave in Detroit, when he gave in those commandments and commands he gave, in there he said, write your own story. Tell it. Let the believers know what you say. I don't care how they think. You will be helping our people. I don't care what you think about me. I want the whole world to know, if they don't know, I love the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. I'm a Farrakhan knight, if such thing as that.
Yes, sir.
I don't give a damn who don't like it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's right. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much. And everyone, please tell your stories. Dr. Henry M. Carter, Brother Henry, says, greetings, Brother Minister. Some people, so Latrice, everybody's saying that. Okay, wonderful. What we want to go to the DNA, the family tree, so people can know. We spoke about Grandma Evelyn. What is your mother's name?
My mother's name is Evelyn Johnson.
Beautiful. Your father?
Ephraim Johnson.
Yes, sir. Your brothers and or sisters?
Rufus Johnson, Robert Johnson, Edward Johnson.
Excellent.
That's it.
Your grandparents?
Grandparents was Ephraim Johnson's, I think, senior, I think. I don't know what on my father's side or my mother's side. Okay,
we don't know your we don't know our great grandparents.
Okay, Pearl Noble on my mother's side, John Noble. That's my that's my grandfather's name, your great grandfather name, and his wife's name was Pearl Noble. As far as I can go.
Okay, excellent. I just want to make sure we had that down so my children, everybody can look. No, Noble Johnson.
Right.
Straight from
and every time you want to know, go to the week.
Yes,
Brunswick.
Sir.
That's where we came from.
Oh, that Mimi, the police officer, 12, the enforcer says, can you tell us what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said about your mother, please, sir?
What did he say about my mother? And father, or just you'll be sexist?
She said, mother, I think she's being sexist. You know, Me Too movement, the women's right, the sisters.
The minister told me, he said, when the history is written about your mother and father, inclusive, the world gonna be shocked. I never asked him what he meant, but that's what he told me. He said, when the history book is written on your mother and father, the whole world gonna be shocked. That's what he told me. I never asked him. Didn't say nothing. No, what that means.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, and this is one last question. Everybody, please, down is not out. AbdulSharrieff.com. Mimi is laughing. She said, of course, both. If you could give some words, because that was another chapter I wanted to make sure the last chapter, the last question. Chapter 15, faith over fear. What does that mean to you?
Faith over fear is mean. Brother Ishmael did an excellent subject today on the minister's article, faith over fear, dealing with that. No matter how afraid you become, no matter what happened in your life, fear, the minister said, we should challenge fear.
Yes, sir.
No matter what it is. Challenge your fear. Don't allow your fear to undermine your faith. And that's what happened with most of us now. We have allowed our fear to undermine the very thing we say we believe in. But you should champion your faith. Hold on to your faith. No matter what happens, hold on to your faith. And Master Farrakhan Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, don't you give up your faith for fear of the white man or no man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on to your faith in your God. Challenge you to do that. And you will overcome whatever difficulty come in your life. Hold on to your faith in God.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Down is not out. AbdulSharrieff.com. I want to thank everyone who's watching. I thank you, Mimi. Thank Naima. Thank everybody who's in the comments. So many people showing you love. Please like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. Make sure we go out and get Down is Not Out. AbdulSharrieff.com. That this would be your third book, correct?
Fourth.
Your fourth book, because this will be Sharrieff's fourth book. I'm very proud, very happy that he's documenting this stuff. I'm all about legacy. Shout out to my future children. They can look at this one day and say, That's my grandfather. Praise be to Allah. Speaking of legacy, Dad, last question. When you're a great grandfather now, when you see your children, your great grandchildren, great grandchildren, what does that make? How does that make you feel as a man?
Make me feel good. That means I'm gonna live on into the future, whether my body goes back to earth or not. But I will live way on into the future by the grace of God.
Beautiful.
If they survive. And I like to say this much, if I may subscribe, Cash App, People's Podcast. I want you all to continue to support Josh in his podcast so he can continue bringing this kind of information to all. You know my son is doing a great job by the grace of God. Help him to continue to do this. We must learn to support Black business. Hon Elijah Muhammad tells a message to the Black man, don't boycott your own. Support your own. Stop. Don't do it with lip service. Mere belief count for nothing unless carried into practice. Support Black businesses wherever you are. Please support Josh Podcast, please.
Beautiful.
And buy my books. I'm gonna look and see. I came on here and I gave y'all my heart, and I'm gonna look and see. Did you all support me? Because I will see you again. May Allah bless you. Love you, family. I miss y'all so much. Love you all. If you're ever in town, please come by the art. You can order. Look, we just got a big order shipment in yesterday of the crushed beans that you can just pour water in and have your bean soup. We can ship it all over the world. So you can call the art and base your order. Please support Black business. Love you all. And don't you forget now, pay your Savings Day gift. We must support the Honorable Louis Farrakhan Savings Day gift. We did ours. We had a fundraiser today for the Savings Day gift. Sorry, we're leaving again by the grace of God. Catch up. I love you, family. Assalamu alaikum.
Praise be to Allah. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off with People's Podcast. Thank you very much, Brother Minister Sharrieff.
Love you,
Thank
son.
everyone who's watching. I love you more, Dad. Assalamu alaikum. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. Boom. Just like that.